Hi there everyone, welcome to Canine Arcade. Time for another episode of Retro Mini Reviews. Today's subject of review goes to a game somewhat forgotten by many, and treasured by some, Croc Legend of the Gobbos. Croc Legend of the Gobbos, or Croc as I'll call it from here on out, is a game released by Argonaut in the year 1997 for the PlayStation 1 console. I never actually saw the game back in the day, but played it recently on my Twitch channel. I'd encourage you to go watch it, or check out more of my retro games, artwork, and other content that I do. Croc is a 90s platformer. You play as a cute little cartoon crocodile, who lives with little hairballs that resemble what tribbles would be in a Rareware game. They are known as Dantinis. A bunch of Dantinis and their king get kidnapped by this big green fella, which puts Croc, our hero, in a quest to rescue them. Croc uses a linear level select system like a lot of platformers of the era. You complete levels by rescuing Dantinis and hitting the gong at the end of each level. This game can get pretty difficult at times, especially if you're aiming to find them all. The gameplay is engaging to anyone who loves old school 3D platformers of the 90s, such as Super Mario 64, Crash Bandicoot, and Spyro, albeit with its own charm and flaws. The game has some vibrant colours, interesting level design, and an endearing ambient soundtrack. The game gives off a familiar feeling of nostalgia, even to myself, playing it in the year 2022. No game is perfect, however, and I must address its flaws. Croc suffers from a finicky camera, which, although an introduction to the 3D space, was not as fluid as its more popular mascot competitors. The camera did not have 360-degree rotation, and often would end up in a position unsuitable for me to make important jumps amongst the landscape. Aside from its unpredictable camera, it is worth mentioning the control scheme of Croc. Croc's main ability used in the game is his ground pound ability, used to break the crates found in the environment. Croc also has a tail flip and only a single jump as opposed to a double jump. Attempting to press X twice will trigger the ground pound move. Croc moves in what's called a tank control scheme, reminiscent of other games like the Resident Evil series on the PS1. Croc can only move forward and back, with the left and right movements actually being pivots in those directions. The movement is a bit challenging at first, but with some getting used to is very playable, with only the camera becoming the letdown as you progress. The game supports analog movement, so it can be played with either the D-pad or with analog sticks. Choose whichever suits you best. I personally favoured using the analog stick as the movement felt more three-dimensional for me. Players may find the game too difficult. This cute and colourful set piece may fool many into thinking it's a simple kids game. Let me tell you, it's not. This game will throw many challenges at you, both unintentionally in its sporadic camera as well as intentionally with its level design and use of puzzles throughout gameplay. The game's story can be a bit hard to follow on your first playthrough, as there aren't many cutscenes, and those included aren't voiced. The boss battles always take a few tries to actually figure out the task needed to defeat them, similarly to Crash games, but in a more vague manner. To sum everything up, Croc is a heartwarming romp, with a familiar and yet unique take on the platforming genre. I consider it a game you should give a whirl if you are into retro games and classic 90s video game platforming. The game has a bit of a learning curve, but will be very rewarding to anyone wanting a new collectathon to try out. Croc can be played on the Sony PS1, the Sega Saturn, and on a Windows PC. The version I have reviewed today is the PlayStation 1 variant. This review is from that platform and my own experiences, so your results may vary. Thanks so much for watching, hope to see you in another video, take care, bye!